welcome to Sarah's Stamping Retreat. Today we're going to be making 5 cards with this gorgeous Expressions in Ink suite. So today we're going to be using the stamp set, the dies, which some of them cut out the pieces from the stamps and some of them are these gorgeous detailed pieces, and the papers. So you can see you get 2 sheets of each in the pack, but this one's my favourite, so I don't even have 1 sheet left of that. It's really, really gorgeous. It's got that on the back, and then we've got this one. You can see they've got really gorgeous gold foiling on with that on the back. And we've got this one with this on the back. And then we've got this one with this on the back. And this one, this on the back, and the gold stripes with this on the back. So then I'm going to start with a ridiculously simple card. I've got an A6 Evening Evergreen card blank. So that measures 5 7/8 by 8 1/4 inches, and I've scored and folded that in half. And then this piece is 1/4 inch smaller than my card front, and that is cut from this piece here. You can see it's this corner piece here. It's just upside down, so it goes like this. And all I'm going to do is just stamp a thanks up there and make a really, really quick and simple thank you card. But I think that this paper is just so gorgeous that you don't really need to do huge amounts with it if you just want to make some quick and simple cards. And I'm going to take my Evening Evergreen ink and I'm just going to stamp that on here. Then I'm just going to pop some glue on the back of here. And then we've got a cute simple thank you card. So then for my next card I'm going to use these die cuts. So I've used the detailed leaf die, which is this one here, to cut the leaf twice from gold foil sheet. I've got an A6 Evening Evergreen card blank and a piece of Evening Evergreen cardstock that's 1/4 inch smaller than the card front. And I'm just going to glue these pieces onto the front of here. I think because these dies are quite large, then you can actually make a nice background from just a couple of die cuts, which is good. So I'm going to use this Happy Birthday stamp, and I'm just going to heat emboss this on this piece of Evening Evergreen cardstock. So I've got my Versamark ink, and I'm just going to stamp the Happy Birthday in the Versamark ink. And I'm going to pour on my gold embossing powder and just shake that back into the pot. And then I'm going to grab my heat tool, I'm going to put it onto 2, and I'm going to heat this. Then we've got our lovely Happy Birthday. So then I'm just going to turn this over now that the glue's dried a bit, and I'm just going to trim the edges off here. And then I'm just going to go and cut this piece down. So I've cut down the Happy Birthday. I've cut this down 1/4 inch wider, so that's just a piece of gold foil sheet. So I decided that this might look better with a gold layer. So I've cut a gold layer that is 1/4 inch smaller than my card front, and then this green layer is 1/4 inch smaller than the gold layer. I'm going to use some dimensionals to add the Happy Birthday on. And then I'm just going to add a few of these gilded gems, which you'll have seen me use a lot recently because I absolutely love them. just to pop around here and just kind of fill in some of the gaps a little bit. I'm using different sizes just to give it a bit of an irregular look. So that's our next card finished. So for the next card I thought we'd do some stamping. So I've got a DL card. So this is 7 3/4 inches by 8 1/4 inch, and it's scored and folded in half. And this piece is 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card front. And then I'm going to take this stamp and my pale papaya ink. So then I'm going to stamp this all along the card. And then I'm going to take a spare piece of basic white cardstock. And I'm going to stamp this in Calypso Coral. And then I'm going to stamp a couple of these leaves in the Evening Evergreen that matches the card blank. And then I'm also going to just heat emboss that Happy Birthday on some Evening Evergreen cardstock again. So I'm going to do it in the gold, the same as before. So I'm going to use these dies just to cut out this kind of like flower type thing in the leaves. And I'm just going to cut this down at the same time. So I've just cut that, and I was just looking at the layout of my card, but actually I was originally going to cut this down, but I quite like it like that. So I might just cut another piece of the Evening Evergreen to go this side as well, so that it kind of looks a bit like a ribbon across the card. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue my pieces onto the card. So you could always do this strip across the card in one go, so it's one piece, but I only decided halfway through making the card that I wanted it to go all the way across. That's why I've just got this little bit. It doesn't matter that we've got a little seam here because the flower will go on top of that and it will hide it. So I'm going to put on a couple of leaves. Let's just space those. And then I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals. I think I might finish off by putting some of these gilded gems in the middle of the flower. So that's my third card completed. So for my fourth card, I've got a basic white card blank that measures 5 inches square. Then I've got a piece of Evening Evergreen cardstock that measures 4.5 inches square, and a piece of this paper that's the same as this paper, it's just a piece off the same sheet, that measures 4.25 inches square. Then I've cut this from gold foil sheet, and then we're just going to heat emboss the thanks in gold embossing powder onto here. This is just a scrap of Evening Evergreen cardstock. Now I can glue all the pieces together. I'm just going to glue this piece on. And I'm just going to pop some dimensionals on the back of there. And you see how we can make some really kind of quite simple to put together cards, but they look really striking because of just a little bit of gold embossing, the gold foil sheets on with the die cuts, because that die cut's so intricate it makes it look really beautiful, and then the gorgeous papers in the background. and it doesn't take us long to put together a really pretty card. So then for our final card, I've got another Evening Evergreen card blank, and I've used a lot of the same colours in this on purpose so that if you've just got a few colours of cardstock, then we can kind of make it with that. So I'm just going to heat emboss the thanks in the corner of the card. And then I've got this piece of my favourite card pattern paper here. So that is a piece off here, and it originally measured the same as the card front, but then I took my die and I just cut that across there so that this that I've then cut in gold foil sheet will fit within it. So I'm going to glue this onto the front of my card. And then I'm going to add some glue onto the back of here. And I'm going to kind of glue that along that piece. So I'm just gluing this so that it goes into these die cut pieces. So I just think that looks really pretty along there now. So then that's my final card finished. Let's bring the rest in. So I really hope you've enjoyed today's project. If you did, I'd appreciate you clicking like below, and you can also press subscribe if you'd like to see future videos. If you click on the bell button and select all, then YouTube will also send you notifications when I've got a new video available. All of the products that we've used for today's cards are linked in the description below, and there's also a host code there, so if you pop my host code into your basket before you check out, then you'll receive a free gift after the end of the month. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.